Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. Wow, it kind of feels weird to say that, guys. I have not filmed in 2 months. This is just going to be a little bit of a life update video. I know several people have reached out and wonder if I'm okay, where have I been. So sweet. And then I'm going to do all the books that I've basically read the last couple months and do a little wrap up. I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet. I'm not gonna go over synopsis or anything. Just kind of giving my star rating, a short little just why I liked it, and then go on. So to start off with the life update, I just was really busy. Like, I haven't uploaded in 2 months, and I just ended up getting really busy. I started doing Bible study at church, and I was just getting more busy throughout the week. And I was just not having any time to film. There was a lot of familial things going on that took up a lot of my time. And then suddenly, about 2 weeks ago, my grandma suddenly passed away. She's the only grandparent that I had left, and she suddenly passed away. So that's been really hard, but I know she's with Jesus. I know that she is completely and totally healed. She had dementia, and she just went downhill extremely quickly. So even though the fleshly part of me is sad and grieving and working through all that, I'm at peace knowing that she is with Jesus. I will see her again. And so, yeah, that's mainly what has been going on, guys. It's just a lot of busyness, and then unfortunately my grandma passing. So I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get a video out to you all, but I hope you enjoy this. I'm going to get into the books I've read, and yeah, I hope you like it. Alright, so the first book is Then There Was You by Kara Isaac. I don't actually own the physical copy, but I read it and listened to it on Kindle Unlimited. Y'all, this book, it's a Christian romance. I loved it. I had been eyeing Kara Isaac's books for so long, and then Oshina ended up reading a couple of her books that made me want to read them even more, and so I finally read Then There Was You by Kara Isaac a couple months ago. 5 stars. It's one of my favorite books that I've ever read. It was funny. I literally laughed out loud so many times. It does have grief elements, and it got serious, but overall it was just such an enjoyable experience. I really don't have a negative to say about it, other than I guess part of me wished there was like more of like an epilogue and stuff, just because I want all the details of like how people's lives are after the main story in the book. So that's just me. So yeah, 5 stars, absolutely love it. I cannot wait to read more of Kara Isaac's books. The next book is The Aquamans Rule by Sarah Adams. She is a clean rom-com writer, so romantic comedy book writer. It's not Christian. There was very light language, and it's all like closed door. It's clean. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know there was a lot of mixed reviews. Actually, a lot of Sarah Adams books I feel like are mixed reviews, but this was my first one by her, and I'm looking down. I got a laptop, guys. That's one reason why I didn't upload for a bit, is because it was so hard to continue to do everything on my phone. I ended up getting a laptop, so I have my list here. I really ended up enjoying The Aquamans Rule. It was just lighthearted. It was funny. The characters were enjoyable, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I gave it 4 stars. I really had no complaints, and I highly recommend if you're wanting to just get into romantic comedy, have something light, kind of like a palate cleanser. It was just really nice read. Y'all, I'm realizing filming this that I've read a lot of new authors to me in this new year. Wow, okay, I'm proud of myself. The next one is A Cowboy for Keeps by Jody Hedlund. This is the Colorado Cowboy series, book number 1. Y'all, I really didn't think that I would ever read like a western or a cowboy romance. I just never thought I would. And one of my great friends, Hannah from Hannah June Writes on Bookstagram, she was just raving about she really enjoyed this book, but she raved mainly about the whole series and a couple of other books in the series. And a couple months ago, I had gotten sick, and she's so sweet. She mailed this to me because she wanted me to read it, and it just got to me when I had gotten sick with strep. So I read it in like just a couple of days. I loved this book. I adored it. I think I give it 4 stars. The only reason why it's a 4-star for me was because it just wasn't quite that 5-star wow. But it was still an amazing read. I mean, I would honestly reread it, and I cannot wait to continue the series. I hear it just gets better and better. I think it's about, this is Wyatt, right? That's his name. Yeah, Wyatt. He's the cowboy, and I'm pretty sure it's about each brother. One of his brother's romance stories. So, guys, I love this book. It's marriage of convenience, it's Christian romance, all the fun things. The next one was a buddy read. It's When I Fall in Love by Susan May Warren. It's a part of the Christensen family series. It's kind of hard to see the cover, but it's so cute. I don't know why, I love a glossy cover like this. And it upsets me because the whole rest of the series is like a matte satin finish, and this one is glossy. I wish my whole set was glossy. I ordered them all from Tyndale, and that's how it came. But I buddy read this with Bethany Brings Books. We've actually been buddy reading this whole series except for the first book. So we read the second book, we read the third book together. This one, I ended up giving it 5 stars as well. I'm really surprised because I've given the second book and then this one both 5 stars, and they both impacted me so much deeper than I ever thought they would, just because I just wasn't expecting such a wow factor. But the faith element and the medical struggles and internal struggles and anxieties that one of the main male characters goes through in this book was so touching to me. I literally, even though it was a different like situation than me, the fears and the feelings and all these things surrounding this disease, that's in this main male character's life, it really touched me. And literally, I can't remember what chapter, I'd have to go back and look, but they were speaking about faith and just how we don't have the control. We don't have the control over most things in our life, and this is something that I talk about and think about all the time. And a lot of my anxiety and just fears and things come from wanting to control, and that we can go through really, really hard, unknown circumstances in our life, and God is always there. He gets us through them. He is our anchor. And this was just like the message of the story to me. The romance was really good too, but the faith really, really made this a 5-star for me. If it didn't have the faith, it would probably just be like a 4-star. I love this. I think this one is my favorite so far. And I kind of slacked off just where, the things happened with my grandma, but me and Bethany were also buddy reading the 4th book, so I kind of had to stop. I was going to listen to it, but I kind of had to stop with just all these things going on. And I hope to start it again soon, because this one leaves you on a cliffhanger and you're like, I want to know what happens in the next book, because it's a little scandalous, like, you just can't wait. Not scandalous, but like, it's kind of like, ooh, like, what's going to happen. The next one is another Sarah Adams book, and this is it was on audio. I can't remember where I got off of. It might have been my Libby app. It was free, and I saw it was by Sarah Adams, and it's Con a Gentleman. I gave it a 3-star. It's like a Regency romantic comedy. It was just fine. Like, it was good. It wasn't like my favorite book ever. It was just like an average book. I'd give it like 3.5 star. It was enjoyable. It wasn't like You know, it didn't have the wow factor. It was just good and like kind of a palate cleanser. So if that's something you're interested in, you like Regency, romance, romantic comedy, I really think you'd like this one. It does have a really interesting storyline that kind of, it grabs your attention from the beginning because you kind of want to see how things are going to happen. So I recommend it. The next book is The First Taste by Anna Conwell. If you've been here for a while, you know I love Anna Conwell. She's actually become one of my very best friends. She is an author, an indie author, so she self-publishes her book. And there's a novella, which I did read, and that's the next book I'm going to talk about. But it's a 4-book series plus the little novella, and it's called the Sweet Peach series, and it's based in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's about 4 best friends who all live together and their romances. So the first one was The Love Audit. It's up there on my shelf. The Love Audit, and that's about Lottie and Callum. The second book is One More Song, about Grace and Wyatt, and the third one is about Ben and Sophie. It's a best friends to more romance. Guys, I loved this book. It was so good. Anna just writes in such a way that really grabs my attention, truly, and I'm not just saying that because I became her friend through reading her books. I wasn't her friend before reading them, so I'm giving my full 100% honest opinion when I say this, that guys, she just grabs my attention. She writes the sweetest romances. It has very light faith elements. It's not Christian romance. It's just a sweet, clean romance. And again, it's almost like a palate cleanser, but I really like Anna's writing and the characters that she develops. And I'm currently reading the last book in the series, which is One Last Play. It's going to release here in about a week or a few days. It releases on the 25th. And I didn't get to mention this and upload it, so I'm so sorry guys, but if you're interested, they're all on Kindle Unlimited, or you can order them off Amazon. And again, this is like not sponsored, or she's not telling me to do this. It's just if you want to read them, they're on there. They're wonderful. We are doing, it's Bethany, the Bookworm Girl, Catherine from Adventures in Paper, me. We're all hosting a big giant buddy read over on Instagram. And I'll have a Google form below if you want to sign up and be a part of the Instagram chat for the buddy read for One Last Play. And that's the 4th book in her Sweet Peach series. It's the last one. And then it runs about 2 weeks. We give to read the book, and then we are going to do a web chat over on Google Meet. And we did that with The First Taste. It was so much fun. We had a little giveaway. We had like 2. And it was just such a blast. So if you don't have Instagram, but you still want to buddy read the book and take part in conversation in a couple weeks when we do the live web chat, where it's me, Bethany, the Bookworm Girl, and then Adventures in Paper, Catherine. And then Anna will be there too. You can ask Anna questions. We get to talk about all things books, all things the Sweet Peach series, things to Anna towards her writing and being an author, and it's so much fun. So I'll have all that information linked below. This was, of course, 5 stars. I so heavily related to Sophie's internal self-worth struggles and issues, and just really coming to terms with she does deserve to be loved and known. And yeah, I can just go on forever. 5 stars, so sweet. And the next one to go along, it's about Brad and Zara, but Zara is not one of the main girls. She's like they're both side characters, but it's super small. This little novella, I wish it was a full-length novel. It was so good. It's like workplace, like cinnamon roll, and I had never heard that term before. It's like they're both just super sweet, loving characters that come together for a sweet romance. And yeah, there's a little bit of like familial struggles in this book. It's so good. I wish it was a full-length novel. Brad is amazing, and I highly recommend it. It was 5 stars as well. This book, I actually buddy read it with my brother. It's Apple Cider Slang by, what's her name? Julie Lindsay. This was my first ever cozy mystery read. Y'all, it was so sweet. I really enjoyed it. It was not scary. Guys, I don't do scary. I don't do spooky. That's why I read just like sweet romances. I can read heavier stuff like, Francine Rivers and all that, but I have to be in the mood for it. This was so good. It's based in West Virginia, which is where I'm born and raised and where I live. It was so fun to buddy read this with my brother. I gave it 4 stars. I really loved it, and I can't wait to continue the series when fall time comes around. But my brother had been reading some, like, not Agatha Christie, but like Sherlock Holmes cozy mysteries, and we were talking about just reading a cozy together, and we decided to go with this one. He enjoyed it. He didn't like all the romance stuff in it, and of course that's why I loved it, but he enjoyed it. It just, he's not a romance guy. That's not his topic of choice. So he liked it, but I really loved it. I gave it 4 star. It's based on an apple orchard. You know, someone ends up dead, and it's trying to figure out who is the murderer. And guys, I actually thought I had it figured out, like 100% had it figured out, and I didn't. I did not get it right until the very end, and I thought I had it figured out the whole time. So it was a nice little shock. I was so pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed this book. 4 stars. The next book I literally just finished a couple days ago is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. Obviously, I have been on a Sarah Adams kick. I really enjoy her writing. It's genuinely so funny to me. Nothing has been super inappropriate on the content side. It is more than what would be in a Christian, you know, romance book, but for it to be clean secular, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Very minimal cussing. Nothing horrible, which is refreshing with secular fiction. Loved this. It's about best friends to more. One's a ballerina and one is a professional football player, and it's just about them working through they already know their feelings for one another, but they're both kind of scared to admit it to the other person. So I really enjoyed this. Sweet, funny, and just, it's one of my favorites I've ever read. I gave it 5 stars. I highly recommend it if you just want something super sweet and fun to read. And the last book that I just finished yesterday is Love and Gelato. I did a big buddy read with book lover Amanda, Chrissy's Purple Library, and Lindsay Lemus. This was so much fun, y'all. I don't think Lindsay or Chrissy is quite done, but I partially read, partially listened to it. The narrator is phenomenal. It's one of the best audiobooks I've ever listened to. I gave it a 3.75 rating to 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. You can totally tell it's a secular YA, and I really enjoyed it. I think I'm getting to the point where some YA is just a little too immature, but like when it comes to communication issues, because I'm just like sitting there thinking, just ask the question, you know what I mean? Or I was really interested in the main character's, Carolina's mother's story, honestly, more than Carolina's story. But I truly felt transported to Italy. The setting was so much fun. It's always been a dream of mine to go to Italy someday. So I really enjoyed this. There were just a couple of, I don't want to say supernatural elements, but kind of, that I just didn't love. But overall, really enjoyed this book. And if you love YA, even if you don't love YA, it's still an enjoyable read. There is heavy themes of grief, but it wasn't to the point where, I mean, obviously I just lost my grandma, but it wasn't making me emotional, which is shocking. So it didn't invoke a lot of emotions regarding the grief out of me, but I'm also still in the process of grieving, y'all, so things can be a little weird right now. But 3.75 to 4 stars. It was just a nice little read, and I recommend it. Y'all, this was my wrap up. I kind of went through it quickly. I didn't want to take up too much of your time because it was so many books. I just want you to know that I thoroughly enjoyed all of these reads. Nothing was lower than a 3.5 star rating. They were all enjoyable. I recommend them all to you. Please let me know what your favorite read has been recently, and I am excited to be back and getting into filming videos for you all. I have a couple of fun videos planned out that I'm really excited to film. I don't know what my filming schedule is going to look like right now. I'm just going to do it as I feel able to, and I hope that's okay. I at least want to get something out a couple of times a month. And yeah, let me know if you've read any of the books that I mentioned, what you thought. If you didn't like them, please let me know. I'd love to hear why you didn't. If you loved them, I want to know that too. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you to everyone that has checked in, prayed for me, prayed for my family, prayed for my grandma. I cannot express to you the gratitude that I have to this community. Thank you so, so much. I love y'all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.